City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have the pleasure of being joined by none other than our very own Chief of Police. I have sitting with me today, Garrett Fiveash. Garrett, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Alan. Thank you for having me again.
Well, it is a pleasure to sit down with you, Garrett. And, you know, we talk about how quickly time goes by.
Yes, sir.
It's been a year now that you've been here with us here in LaGrange, right?
Yes, sir. Been a very, very quick and very busy year.
I bet so. Tell us a little bit about it, Garrett, if you don't mind. How has that gone?
It's, you know, Alton, it's really been great. Coming from a bigger city, and I grew up in a place very much in Tifton, very much the size-wise complementary to the city of LaGrange, so it's been really good to kind of get back in that kind of element where you know a lot of the people and can greet a lot of the people and call them by name and those kind of things. It just gives you a much better feel for things. My wife and my daughter are over here now full-time with us, and they're settled in and just really enjoying being here.
Well, very good. You know, I met you when we were going through the interview process, and you know, we were very impressed with your resume and things of that nature. And I think I've only heard great things.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
out of the police department. You know, that means a lot. As you well know, I started out in the police department years ago, so it's great.
And that offer still stands.
I definitely appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. Well, you know what? You have a great team down within the police department there.
Very much so.
And a week or two ago, you all had a promotion ceremony there at the mayor and council's office there. And I just wanted to kind of touch on that, and we're going to touch on some other things now.
Sure.
But before we get into that, talking about a shift, because I know sometimes you kind of run a little bit short. What's a full staff of?
Full complement on the shift. Basically, we're split into 4 12-hour shifts. We have a morning watch and an evening watch, and that's split into 12 hours. They work 6A to 6P on both shifts, and then we have a little overlap that comes in early to cover roll call times and those kind of things. But 9 people is full staff at present manpower. That gives us 1 patrol officer for each of the 7 zones in the city, and then we have 2 shift sergeants. And now, via the promotions, we also have a shift lieutenant back in place that acts kind of as a floater and can fill in for the sergeants and things if we have calls that require multiple officers.
Very good. And you know, we're talking about being a full staff, and you know, we're going to talk a little bit about another program that you all are going to be implementing. But we just want the people to be aware that if you see something, say something.
Yes, sir. We've got it's actually a system we've used before in the past. It's called TIP 411. The system has had some improvements made to it prior to the new technology and the updates they made to the system. It was basically a one-way communication device where people could go in and report things they had seen or things they had heard about. Crimes, you know, concerns in the community on an anonymous basis. What the TIP 411 company has done, they've gone back and they've made this the 2-way communication possible. So basically what you would do is you would go in, you download the app on your phone, and you'll know it's us because it's got LaGrange Police Department. It'll have the new patch for our new uniforms that was at the council meeting, is the symbol for it. And it allows them to make anonymous tips. When they text in a tip on their phone, it assigns their telephone number, a random number, communication number. But what the new system does, it allows 2-way communication. So if we need clarification, we can text you back, and that's also anonymous. We have no way of figuring out who's texting us. It assigns us a random number and you a random number, but it allows us to clarify or enhance some of the details on whatever you may be reporting.
Very good. You know, because the summer's coming in, we definitely want you know, the citizens and everyone to be safe here in our community. And again, we will talk a little bit about the promotions, and there's individuals be out there making sure. On the patrol, we had like 4 persons that got promoted.
Yes, sir.
Got some lieutenants and sergeants. John Sloniker, Jeremy Jones, Sergeant Daryl Pritchett, and Sergeant William Jones.
Yes, sir.
Now talk a little bit about that in the patrol.
When we were going back through, of course, we had some openings. When I got here last year, or shortly after, we were at 23 openings for the department. We're back down to 12 at this point, and we're still plugging along steadily at that number. We've got 3 new hires that should be starting the academy July 1st, so that should knock us down to 9, provided they get through the process. And then we've still got a couple of pre-certified people from other departments that are still weighing it out and see if they want to come on board with us. But that let us put some key players back in place. Captain Robert Kirby and Major Dale Strickland had been heading up the patrol division and the criminal investigation Investigation Division, not completely on their own, but without that interdivisional support of a kind of middle management supervisor. So they've had a lot on their back. So no, it'll be a great relief to them to have some help.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I should have turned the page over because I had a couple of more.
Oh, yes, sir.
Sergeant Stephen Spivey and Sergeant Megan Keith also within the patrol division as well. CID, a lot of people may hear it CID, but Criminal Investigation Division. You have Captain Chris Pritchard, Lieutenant Lee Wynn, Sergeant Hilton Swanson, and Detective Kendra Scott. Talk about what some of the things that they do. And
kind of the same thing, filling in some of the open slots. We did have some openings there. Having those middle management positions allows us to divide up, especially in CID, the divisions. We have property crimes, we have our special victims unit, and working our crimes against children. And those are, while they're all detective positions, the things they do day to day and the way those things are going about are very, very separate, and bear each of their own responsibilities in and of themselves. So being able to divide that up and have them responsible to a person that's done those things and can oversee those things, and not keeping keeping an eye on them, but being able to step in and provide them assistance where they need it.
Absolutely. And again, the ladies and guys down in the police department do an awesome job.
Yes, sir.
And then again, we want citizens to know that they're there to help you in time of needs. A lot of times we're being reactive, but we like to be proactive in a lot of ways as well. Within the administrative services, we have Captain Jeremy Butler and Lieutenant Clay Bryant that was also promoted this time.
Jeremy's been a long time advocate for the police department out in the community, knows virtually everyone in the city.
That's right.
You go eat lunch with Jeremy and you spend half your time speaking to people in the restaurant or more time probably than you do eating, which is a good thing. We want people that are wired into the community and have those relationships in place. And then Clayton's a long-time patrol person, but brings a unique set of skills. He'll be supervising our code enforcement unit, animal control, and then we've got some other tasks on board from him, also overseeing our fleet services now. So he'll be kind of taking over our cars and things. Another thing that Major Strickland was having to manage at his level. So we're kind of dividing up to conquer a little bit.
There you go.
Parsing out responsibilities.
That's right. And people don't realize that there's a lot of moving parts within the police department.
Very much.
We're talking about the various divisions here. So there's when you're full staff there, it takes these individuals to make sure that you have people that are in these various positions to hold others accountable. Within that training division, we have a couple that were promoted. We have Lieutenant Josh Clover, and then we have Sergeant Jim Davidson that was also. Yes,
sir. Jim and Josh are longtime training staff for us. They do a fantastic job. We do a lot of training. Even as much training as we did with the State Patrol, we even eclipsed that training level here, which is saying a lot. Those guys stay busy. Jim and Josh, they try to come in. They'll come in. They'll start training at 4:30 in the morning, so they can catch the day shift, and then they'll stay till 6:30, 7 o'clock at night to catch the evening shift too. And we've also Sergeant Brian Brown. Brian's one of our longtime member of our emergency services unit, excellent firearms instructor, and so we've also moved Brian out there to help supplement their numbers. They were really we as much training as we do, they just needed some more help. Jim unfortunately keeps talking about he's going to throw in the towel in a couple of years. We hope he extends it more than he's talking about. Absolutely. But just doing a little succession planning also there.
Very good. Yes, sir. Again, you talk about training, you guys exceed the training. And I'm trying to think back to my days of police. I think it was minimum of 20 hours.
Yes, sir. Minimum 20. And we recommend, or our goal for each person is 40 hours of in-house and 40 hours for out-of-house. So we get 4 times the training that's required by post standards, and most every officer meets that throughout the year.
Why is that so important for you as a chief and for our community?
Well, there's things, as you know, just like the public, things are ever evolving. It's always, these situations are always fluid. While most of our investigational techniques and things remain pretty consistent, there's always a new tool, or there's always a new method of doing something. Somebody's always sort of inventing a new and better mousetrap, and going to training and learning those concepts and principles to stay on top of those things is vitally important so that we can serve the public as best we can.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about serving the public, as we get ready to close out, I'm thinking back to I'm reminiscing here, Chief, a little bit. Thinking back to my days of policing, we had various sectors at that time.
Yes, sir.
And I think we refer to them as zones
yes,
now.
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay.
The city of LaGrange has 7 zones. Basically, the downtown area is Zone 7. Our other zones start at Morgan and work clockwise around, and it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have them roughly divided on population density and land density and land mass area that they can actually reach in a timely manner. So, of course, some of the more densely populated zones are smaller geographically so that we can serve them a little bit better. Okay. But that's where our full staff of 9 people per shift, that gives us 1 officer in each zone, and then we have the 2 sergeants kind of as floaters in case we need multiple people. And then now, of course, with the promotions, we have those patrol lieutenants available to assist them as well.
Very good, very good. Yeah, and I know that, one of the situations or things that always come up, what's the pay? And I know that we have recently increased that starting pay for officers as we get ready to close. Talk a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
That, of course, pay is always a good carrot to dangle. That gets people interested. I think what keeps people in the door is the way you treat your folks, the way you support your people, the way that you let people know that if they go out and they do the right thing, they'll have the support and the backing from the department. They'll certainly get that from me, and I can't brag on and I would say it with them standing there, the mayor, the city council, Mayor Edmondson when he was here. We really miss him. Just overwhelming support. I talk to these officers that are friends of mine that have left the patrol and are doing different jobs all over the state, and I hear these different stories about how they're dealing with the lack of support, and I've had nothing but 100% support since I've been here. Mr. Bowie's a huge advocate of the police department, and they do a great job. Mr. Bullitt does a great job for us, and they're always willing to listen. Even if they have to say no, they take the time to tell you why they have to say no. And I just couldn't ask for any more than they're giving us. So I'm very, very appreciative.
Well, very good.
Appreciative.
Very good. Well, Chief, definitely appreciate you taking time out
of
your schedule to
Anytime.
come in and talk with us today. And definitely, if there's anything that we here and CD can help out with you and down in your area, let us know, okay?
I certainly will.
All right,
thank you so very much. Always good to see you.
You as well, Chief. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more City Week coming up in just a moment.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Now is the time that I talk with Lynne Holle from Visit LaGrange to find out about all the things happening in and around LaGrange. Lynne, it is your time. Take it away.
Good morning, Alton. Thank you. Good morning and welcome to City Scenes. I'm your host, Lynne Holle from Visit LaGrange. Today we're going to be talking about some of the events that will be happening in and around our area during the week of June 10th through June 16th. So let's get started. Tuesday, June 11th at 11 a.m., the Container Flower Pot Gardening Class at UGA's Troup County Extension Office, which is located at 2168 Pegasus Parkway in LaGrange. Come learn how to put together a container flower pot that will bloom beautifully throughout the summer months. Call 706-883-1675 to register to ensure that you go home with a pot. This is a free workshop. Thursday, June 13th at 8 a.m., Pond Building and Management Workshop again at the University of Georgia Troup County Extension Office, which is located at 2168 Pegasus Parkway. Join us as we give you tips and tricks to maintain your pond, or if you're just starting out. We will be in the classroom and at our pond out back. Speakers are Shane Kornberg and Sheena Gay. Call 706-883-1675 to register. Friday, June 14th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., Night at the Museum at Legacy Museum, calling all young historians. Come in your PJs and explore Legacy Museum after hours. Go on a scavenger hunt, play games, and more, tailored for children ages 6 through 10. This event is free, but donations are graciously accepted. Spots are limited. Scan the QR code on screen to register. Friday, June 14th at 7:30 p.m., the Jesse Williams Band at Pure Life House of Music. Blues and soul singer, songwriter, and guitarist Jesse Williams is a mountain mama of many different roots, grounded in sultry, sweet blues infused with warm soul and melody medicine. Hailing from North Georgia with a heart for grooves and the deep belief that it's best savored when simmered. The sounds and get-downs are a full-course meal of experiences, from thrills and nuances of long-loved inspirations like Bonnie Raitt, Susan Tedeschi, and Aretha Franklin, to Derek Trucks, the Allman Brothers, and early influences like her family's band, the End of the Trail Band, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Jimi Hendrix. For tickets, visit purelifelagrange.com. Saturday, June 15th at 7:30 p.m., Tucka with Pokey Bear featuring Wes Love at Sweetland Amphitheater. Throughout the course of Tucka's musical career, he has won over the hearts of music lovers from all walks of life. Tucka, the king of swing, has earned the admiration and affection of countless fans. Equally influenced by R. Kelly and Barry White, Louisiana's Tucka is an R&B singer who can deliver pillow talk songs that recall the 70s, the 80s, and also the 2010s. He kicked off to his career in 2007, singing lead with Keith Frank and the Swallow Zydeco Band. He introduced his solo career in 2008, along with his nickname, the King of Swing. He soon became a regional favorite and opened Louisiana gigs by the likes of Mystical and Lenny Williams. For tickets, go to sweetlandamp.com. So Alton, these are just a few of the events that will be occurring during the week of June 10th through June 16th in LaGrange. We hope everybody will be able to get out and enjoy some fun, and as always, stay safe.
All right, Lynn, thank you so very much for that wonderful lineup. As the weather continues to get nice, I know everybody will get out, take full advantage of all those activities. So thank you once again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining City Week this week. My guests have been from the LaGrange Police Department. I had on Chief of Police, Garrett Fiveash, as he talked about the summer tips and also the tip for one, if you want to report something or see something, say something, as he also talked about the recent promotions that took place within the LaGrange Police Department. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed this interview, and as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week.